Hi, everyone. I'm Paula Harvey of Tejon Ranch Conservancy. This is the fifth short lesson. It's just a short drawing exercise. Let's get started. All right, this is exercise number 5. With all of these exercises, remember these are just warm-ups and drills, where our result is not something that looks beautiful. It isn't something that you're going to show anyone. It's simply a practice exercise. The more of them that you do, the better you're going to get at drawing. Just like the more you practice basketball, you get better at basketball. The more you practice your instrument, the better you get at your music. In this case, the more you practice these exercises, the more you draw, the better you get at drawing. And that's the goal of all of these exercises, is simply to get better at it. Practice number 5 is called contour drawing. So contour drawing is a way that you trains yourself to look at shapes. The most important part to accurately draw an object is to look at it, to observe it. And that's the purpose of nature journaling anyway, is get really good at observation. Sometimes we don't observe very long and we get an image in our head that we think is correct and it's not. And in this case, the very first thing you want to do is take your time observing and then train yourself to take what you're seeing and draw accurately what you're seeing and not what you're imagining. The first part of this is blind contour drawing. Now, this is fun, and you're going to end up with something that looks really goofy and probably not at all like what you're drawing. So don't think that the goal of this exercise is to draw something that looks accurate. That's not its purpose. What I want you to do is select something that's interesting to you that you can draw. It might be the same thing that you did when you were doing the finger drawing. Doesn't matter what it is at this point, just something that's going to give you a little interest. And take your time, stare at that subject, slowly begin to draw that shape. Onto paper this time, not in the air, but do not look at your paper. Just draw the outline, the contours of the shape that you're drawing without looking at your paper. Let your eye crawl along that contour line and let your pencil creep along on the paper that you're not looking at the same time that your eye is creeping along the contour line of the object you are looking at. Do not look at your paper. That's rule number 1. And rule number 2, never ever pick up your pencil. You're going to draw one continuous line for the contour of your object without ever picking up the pencil. Take your time. When you're done, it might look something like this. This is a blind contour drawing of a skull. You would know it. If you look at that, you'll know it's one pencil line only. Sometimes the pencil line goes in and then comes back out, but it's only one line. The result could be interesting. It might be funny, but what I want you to take a look at is look at its accuracy. Look at the subtleties of the changes in angles. This one's very subtle. Is it accurate or not? Did it translate from what it was you were seeing that was actually there to what it was you were drawing? Or are some of the lines really exaggerated far too much? That's what you're kind of looking at. And continue practicing this with other objects. Again, it's not about what it actually looks like. It's about seeing those angles and shapes and detours and being able to move that pencil in a subtle way and not in an exaggerated way. Now, the next step is called modified contour drawing. Now, those rules get lifted. So in a modified contour drawing, we're going to hone in on those observation skills again. But this time your end result should look much more like the object you're studying. So those two rules, the first one, don't look at your paper. Now you get to peek. You can every now and then, as you're drawing, look down at your paper and make those corrections that you need to make to allow yourself to have the right kind of proportions and spacing, and that the size and the hardness and the intensity of those lines are accurate. But the other thing that you can do now is you can pick up your pencil. So you can stop drawing a line and then continue drawing it at another spot. Now, keep the energy of those contours going and keep your eyes on that object as you draw. And what you will see is that your contour drawing is going to look a lot more like the object that you're drawing. May not look exactly like it, but it's going to look a lot more accurate than the blind contour drawing. Again, look at those subtle changes. Were these changes accurate and correct, or are they exaggerated? It's very, very important. Oftentimes when we see something that's really interesting on an object, we're going to focus on that thing that is interesting to our eyes. And sometimes we exaggerate it until it's inaccurate. So take a look at that finished modified contour drawing and see whether or not you did it correctly. Keep practicing this. Do other objects, blind contour drawing and modified contour drawing. And that's it for this particular lesson. I hope you have fun with this, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye for now.